All right, for realsies this time, heading out. It's Sunday. I meant to get out a lot sooner. Didn't. See if we can fix that real quick. Turning back off of Little Stearns Road for the last time for 6 months to the end of March. A little bittersweet. It always hurts to leave here. It feels so good to get here. It feels so strange to leave because you're leaving all your friends behind. I was just telling somebody this morning, you go around for an hour hugging people, telling people goodbye. You're like, oh, okay, I got everybody. I'm good. And when you get to the front gate, there's 20 more people that you haven't hugged yet. So if you have not gone to Forgotten Angels Campout, there's nothing like it ever in the world. Promise you. You'll meet the most amazing, wonderful people with the most amazing, wonderful hearts who are willing to do anything to help their fellow man. And that is not just a light, fluffy poetry words. That's the absolute truth. I've seen so many people this weekend with bikes break down and needed rides and got hurt, had some kind of medical issue and needed food, and people were just running at every opportunity. Things were breaking, people were trying to fix them on the campground, things went down. I had to do some pretty nasty work myself. On the bright side, Goon Squad raised $1,500 in t-shirt sales for the Forgotten Angels Campout, and I know that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but we worked hard for that. We were cutting deals, man, trying to make money, and it was a lot of fun, honestly. Got to play with my friends. So if you haven't been to the Forgotten Angels Campout, look it up. It's www.forgottenangels.org, and make a campout. I promise you that it's worth it. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you guys in the next issue of whatever I decide that I'm going to do. Might be cooking, might be riding, might be changing some oil. I guess we'll figure it out when we get there. So, on our way out of the Wang. Not quite there yet. Headed toward Ocala. We're probably not even really quite out of Tampa proper yet. I left the campground probably 30 minutes ago. So, we're still working on it. If this is your first time to the channel, hey, I'm Marine Rider. I do motorcycle content, also do cooking and maintenance and travel, camping. You pretty much name it up. If it's lifestyle, I do it. So this has been the, I'm not even sure, sixth campout, official campout, not including the small ones that happen in Eureka Springs and up in Ohio and all over the place. But the official Forgotten Angels Campout, I believe this is the 6th one. So we're leaving it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous Sunday morning. It's about 10 o'clock a.m. local time. And this will be, if I can keep to this schedule, according to Google Maps, this will be the fastest I can get home in all of my last trips. It's taken me on the average of completed probably 16 hours to get home, because by map it's a 12.5-hour trip, but with gas stops, rest stops, it got too cold to drive, now there's a fucking tornado, it takes a lot of time. So this time I flew the Pillion home. It's just me. I'm flying solo. So one, the bike's a little lighter and it's roaring. Two, I left at the perfect time. I mean, even when I went to leave, originally it said it was like, 12 hours on the dot. So now I'm down to 11 hours and 10 minutes. Shit, I'll buy that. Usually hit a slowdown in Ocala. We'll see how that goes. Last time, I think I walked the bike for about 2 hours. So that really took up a whole lot of time. There was big wrecks right at the Ocala turnoff, and it backed traffic up for 20-30 miles. So that was interesting, to say the least. Good thing I didn't have to go to the bathroom or something, man. I probably would have had to have taken a crap on the side of the road, because And it was rather cold when I left that morning. It was probably, I had to take the Pilly to the airport that morning, and it was probably 45 degrees. By the time I got to Ocala, it was 60, but it was not warm enough to take off all your gear, but not cold enough to actually have to have all the gear on. So I was a little bit miserable walking the bike for that long. But hey, let's not even talk about that. I might bring myself bad luck. So yeah, heads down, music up, and let's see how far we can get today. My goal is to get all the way home right by Google right now, which obviously will be wrong. It tells me I'm going to get home by 9:19 tonight. TomTom says I'm going to get home by 10:13 tonight. So TomTom wants me to go through Atlanta. That ain't happening. Google wants me to go through, turn on 10, go all the way into Tallahassee, and then head north through Dothan, Montgomery, Birmingham. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead. One, I hate having to go through Atlanta anytime. I don't care if it's going to save me time or not. But I think TomTom likes you unless you tell it to stick to dirt roads. It stays on highways. The thing with TomTom, you put it on used back roads, it uses all the back roads. So you can't say use all the back roads except for Atlanta. So I've talked enough on this little thing, so let's put down some miles. So if anybody's wondering how the Shinko tires are held up on this trip, I would say magnificently. So far, let me check what our little trip meter is. They have ran actually perfect. All right, so far I have 1,000 miles on them. They still look pretty new. They still got the rubber tits on it. Very comfortable tires. They're good grip. They're sure gripped. I mean, I won't know for sure until by 3,000 miles, you know if that's a good tire or not, and if you'll buy it again. But so far, yeah, man, this tire has been doing great. I bought the complete set, front and back, as a set off of Dennis Kirk, and it made it pretty easy. You look up the tire, put your bike in there, and it tells you these tires, and you can buy the front and rear tire with one click. So that's what I did, and I was happy. If you watch my previous videos, I did the front tire myself. Wasn't too bad on this bike, but the rear tire just couldn't get the I got the bead broke, and then but I couldn't break the bead out. So instead of, and I surely could have manhandled it and did a good job of scratching my rims and shit, but I decided not to do that because there are some things you just better leave the professionals or the people that have the right tools. Tire changing is one of those things that it's not super hard if you have the right tools. If you got the wrong tools, where you're going to learn a lot of new cuss words. But the Shinkos have held up really well. No blood, no foul, and they're about half the price of a lot of other tires that I've been looking at. As a rule, I'm usually, for the BMWs, I'm a Metzler man. Sometimes Pirelli, but mostly Metzler. I like them elephants; they look cool. And for the Harley, I'd stick with Dunlop because that's what I got on the bike, and it didn't let me down. So I'm like, why should I try something different? I don't have any complaints about it. It's not a really overpriced tire, so I just stick with the Dunlop. But yeah, for this one, Shinkos are handling it pretty well. So I may go to Shinkos on the Harley. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's get to ride with these fine guys for a while. That's always fun. Coming up on the Loves, so I guess that means it's time to stop. 155 miles on the first leg, so that means it's time for a potty break. And might as well put some more gas in the bike. That way my next stop can just be a rest stop. Doesn't have to be for gas. Do the smart things. Plan ahead. If you're gonna stop, try to do as many things in one stop as you can. Alright, first casualty of the trip, my phone died. I looked up and the phone was dying and said low charging voltage cable as it went black. So yeah, my cable stopped charging, so I switched to cables. You'll see now that I have not my neon yellow one, with my cool snakeskin green one. I have another yellow one somewhere because I like to do bright colors on my cable for the bike. That way, if I have to look for it at night while I'm trying to unplug from the phone to plug into my headset or to plug into the GoPro, I can see it easy. So, but for now, that's it. So we're back on track. A little bit of lost time. Hadn't stopped for 150 miles. I figured I'd take a little bit of a longer break, rest my butt a little bit. Yeah, it's not the first part of the trip that it's like drinking water. If you wait until you're thirsty to drink water, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. And the same thing with resting for these rides. If you wait until you're tired to rest, you're just going to stay tired. And if you wait to warm up until you're so cold you can't drive, you're never going to warm up. So take the breaks, just, you know, when you can. I know I'm capable of taking a little longer one for the first leg before you actually get too tired. So I went a little longer, so I am trying to knock out some time. But yeah, you don't want to do too much. So I went ahead and got gas, got a soda, got some donuts, give me some sugar rush, get this day going. So now I'm going to find my groove, get back on the road, and now I'm deciding whether I want to take I-10 back or if I want to go all the way up to Tifton and take across, come through some country roads. I think since the weather's nice, I don't know, it's a toss-up between I-10. Again, definitely not going through Atlanta because Atlanta sucks. And in case you're noticing what I'm playing on the Spotify, yes, I have been jamming out to Miley Cyrus this whole trip. I think it's really good driving music. Except for the ones about doing cocaine in the bathroom. I'm kind of into that. I can speed through that. It does have a pop and beat until you realize it's about doing cocaine in the bathroom. But rest of the songs, pretty okay. So usually when you're on trips like this, you see sites and landmarkers that you kind of want to stop and see. But when you're in a hurry, you really can't. I just passed a sign for the Sasquatch Expedition Museum, and I really want to go there, but I have to get home. So sorry, Bigfoot, not today. Maybe next time. I mean, any other time, I'd be all about finding a swamp ape, but I pretty much just left like 20 of them back in Valrico, Florida. So maybe next time. So the first 3 hours of actual, what it says is drive time, has taken me 3 hours and 25 minutes. So for it to say, we're just going to realistically cut this down. For it to have said a 12-hour trip, if you put enough brakes into it, you're looking at probably 13 and a half hours. That's conservative brakes. Now, if you hit your low point like I did on the way down here, because I hadn't slept in 40 hours, you need to take longer breaks. So just as a thought, when you guys decide to take these motorcycle trips and you're taking a long one, don't judge it on your how far you can drive in an hour or 3 hours. Start putting extra time into it. That's all I have to say about that. Alright, this is it. And the sign looks like most people do when they leave Florida. Pretty nasty. I don't know, man. It still looks like Florida. Wait for it. And bam, Georgia. Welcome to Georgia. Throw your oranges away and get some peaches. Alright, we've decided to turn off. We just turned off into Tifton, Georgia. It's going to be a little backwards for a little bit. Hey, what, 30 miles, I guess. It's going to be a little slow. And then we get back on to another highway. And best part is, I'm going around Atlanta. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. If this is your first time here, hi, I hate Atlanta. We've still got about a little under 8 hours of driving time, which means actually about 9.5 hours of driving time. No, about 9 hours. So it tells us we're gonna get home at 9:51, so that's actually be like 10:51 local time, which will give me just enough time to throw everything off the bike, not actually unload anything, and then jump in the car and go pick up the pillion at the airport, who should be landing about 11 o'clock. That means I'm only like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes from the airport. So that should work out just fine, as long as, knock on wood, nothing happens. If it does, she'll just take an Uber or just wait for me a little longer. All depends on, I guess, how long it takes me to get there. I mean, if I'm going to be like 30 minutes late, she could probably just hang out at the airport. She probably don't need an Uber. Or, worst coming to worst, we do have clone Uber. Uber clone. Uber clone. That actually sounds kind of superhero-ish. Huh. This is the part of the journey where it pretty much dissolves into back roads, but very fast back roads. And they're pretty roads. You know, I like trees, I like rivers, I like streams and ponds and lakes, but I also like to drive fast. So yep, on this road I'll get that. It's 55 here, but once we get up toward this, I think it's about 4 miles, we get to 19, it opens up, and you get to go pretty fast. But it's still all back roads and pretty shit and no traffic, so basically not like Atlanta. And as I have said before, and as in accordance with the prophecy, I don't like Atlanta. In accordance with the prophecy and the ancient texts, Atlanta sucks. So I was down at Forgotten Angels to, one, raise awareness, but two, raise some money. Me and my group, the Goon Squad, which consists of myself, who I am, Randy Ryder. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Nice to meet you. Also, the Loose Juice out of Michigan, and then Nothing at Random out of Ohio, the Columbus area, and then 7th Sentinel out of New Jersey, the clean side. Apparently, if you've ever watched any of her videos, go to the 7th Sentinel. And last but not least, Two Wheel Goon, who our group is named for, who could not make it to this one, but he was doing some things very proper, totally forgivable. We gave him an absentee excuse, but we ended up selling $1,500 worth of t-shirts at the campground. We have a little gig every Friday night if you want to get in and watch us. But the important thing is, we were at Forgotten Angels. So Forgotten Angels is for kids who have aged out of the foster care system. And it sounds funny to say kids that have aged out, which means they're over 18. But yeah, on the outside, their bodies, their physical appearance, yeah, they're men, they're 18. But that doesn't mean that they're ready for the world. So these guys have gone through foster care, and the majority of them on their 18th birthday, state says, well, can't pay for it anymore, get out. And the foster parents who keep them say, well, get out. State's not going to pay me, get out. Which is kind of rough. It's a mixed blessing, I guess, because they got to stay somewhere until they were 18. But at the same time, on your 18th birthday, a lot of these foster parents don't put a lot of work into these kids. They don't teach them how to, you know, look for a job, how to drive, how to work on a car, how to control a bank account, how to write a check, how to do anything that, I would teach my kids pretty much every day of their life, starting at, I don't know, when they can learn to talk and wonder why dad goes to work every day. So a lot of these kids, man, when they get them, they don't know how to write checks, don't know how to drive a car, they don't know anything. A couple of them have gotten there and not known how to tie their shoes. David, Cindy, when they get them there, teach them everything. They teach them how to, drive a car, how to control your temper, how to be a better human, how to write a check, how to look for a job, how to fill out a job application, how to fill out a resume. And then they teach them deeper skills, where all of us get involved in. The easiest way for a young adult to be able to afford to strike out on their own is to get a motorcycle. Because with a motorcycle, one, cheap transportation, you can buy a motorcycle for a few $100 up to $1,000 or so. That's, hey, it may not be, you won't be able to enter it in a motorcycle show and win, but it will get you around, because motorcycles are very cheap, inexpensive pieces of transportation. It's very easy to get a motorcycle license. The gas is very cheap in them. Insurance is very cheap in them, and they're good transportation, especially around Florida, where it might rain a lot in Florida, but it's like, boom, it's rain, now it's warm weather, so it's not like you put some rain gear on, but it's Florida. You can drive pretty much year-round. So, yeah, David has taught just about every one of the boys. I'm going to go on a limb and say all the boys how to ride a motorcycle, and not just the boys. David teaches a lot of people how to ride motorcycles, not just the boys. He has visitors to the campground, and when the visitors come, they get excited. David wants to teach them how to ride motorcycles, because we are very motorcycle eccentric. So, yeah, motorcycles are a big part of the camp out, which is how Jared Weems, Shay, a lot of the YouTubers have gotten pulled into it because, well, motorcycles bind us. Motorcycles are the glue that hold us together. So that's why we have a motorcycle camp out twice a year. Camp out under the stars, raise some money, rid up some motorcycles. Because, I mean, one, we have a lot of fun, but two, it's for a good cause. So that's what I've been doing down in Florida since Wednesday night. I left Tuesday, drove down, drove all night, got there Wednesday at noon, and promptly went into zombie mode and stared at all my friends and said hi, until I got a pretty good night's sleep Wednesday, and then we really got to business, taking care of things. I'm a volunteer at the camp, so just so happens I volunteer for things like unclogging toilets, taking out trash. It's not glamorous. I'm not up there with the hoo-yah section. I mean, I guess I kind of am, because we you know, sold some shirts and made some money for them, but you know, we're still feeling our oats on this. This was only the 6th camp out. We're still trying to make things better, see how things work, and one of the things apparently they needed this weekend is a handyman. We had some things happen that just so happens I knew how to do. Everybody does their part there. A lot of people volunteer to help with cooking, to help with serving food, to help with keeping the coolers full. I got to run a lot of errands this weekend for things that happened, that popped up, that, you know, just so happens I had the training to control. So I run the boo-boo unit there, people who get hurt there. So that's something else I can do. I was kind of a lifesaver in the military. So anything, I think, you know, not to get too deeply religious here, but I think God puts you where you need to be because of the skills you have acquired. And a lot of times he'll give you some skills, make sure you acquire those skills, because, hey man, God's a heavy planner. He might plan things way ahead. So somewhere along the lines, I went through some training for burns, medical emergencies, cuts, and I just so happened to have been able to use them in all the campouts. So that's my little part, I guess. It's kind of strange to come through this in the daytime, because usually when I come through here, it's like right twilight, or it's already dark. So yeah, if you don't know, I used to work second shift, and I would get off at like midnight or so, a little after midnight, and not get up until the next day to start here. I'll probably usually get on the road till maybe 9 o'clock. So that usually put me here around 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I usually got to the hotel in Tifton, Georgia, just enough time to run across the street and eat at the Olive Garden, and then come back and fall back asleep. But yeah, this is usually I guess I go through Georgia, or I take a different route. But yeah, this is the first time I'm actually coming back in daylight, coming this way. But I mentioned I hate Atlanta. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Some people just can't be good. Guess what, y'all? I'm in Chattahoochee. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than the hoochie coochie.
We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. Got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Actually, don't look like they laid rubber. It looks like they laid a bunch of asphalt snakes. Same thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know Georgia lingo. Come to think of it, I don't want to know Georgia lingo. I like Alan Jackson, though. That counts, right? Okay, so I'm in Fort Moore, Georgia now. Somehow I found a shortcut that cut off about 50 miles of my trip. So that ain't too bad. So I was wondering why it was going to take me much less time to get home this time. Apparently, yeah, because I'm taking a shortcut. Well, there's a Buc-ee's, but I don't need gas yet, so next time, Bucky. Next time. So I just felt something slipping across my back and reached back, and my jacket was about to go for a ride. It just slipped out of the net. So good time as any to pull off, get some gas, stretch a little bit, and put my jacket back in its holder. And there's a Love's here, so why not? Right? This sunset would look a lot more cool if I didn't have bugs all over my windshield. But that's travel for you. So it's 80 degrees right now. I looked on the weather forecast while I stopped for gas, and it said it's supposed to be 50 when I get home. And home is only 4.5 hours away. So I'm kind of finding that hard to believe. However, that may be just because I'm wishing it won't happen. Because right now I'm in a flannel and my riding pants, and I like it that way. I wouldn't mind if I got to put my jacket on at at my last stop when I'm only like 2 hours from home. But yeah, I don't want to have to put slipper pants on over this and a rain jacket because it's going to be cold. But I guess all good things come to an end. Then again, when I left last Tuesday, I left home, it was 74 degrees, and when I got here, it was like 52 degrees. So I think it's actually going to be warmer, a lot warmer at home than it is here. So I don't think it's going to actually get down to that. I'm hoping. Maybe it's just positive thinking. Maybe it's just where I am. Okay. Okay, don't know how much you can see because it got dark, but it also got cold. The dashboard says 75.2. I think it's stuck there because when I stopped and checked the phone, it was 60 degrees. Not bad, but I was depending on the dash to tell me when it started getting colder, and I kept looking at it and saying, oh well, I guess I just must be sweaty or something, because it's still saying that it's 75 degrees, and it still says it's 75 degrees. So yeah, I had to stop, put a jacket on, tuck in my neck, put a buff on. Still got 3 hours and 45 minutes to get home. I'll definitely make it tonight. It's just gonna get a little cooler, not cold. It definitely won't be like last March when I was coming home and had to stop because there was ice on the road. In Atlanta, in hot Atlanta, there was ice on the road. Not sure if you can see that moon because of the city lights, but that is a huge moon. Somebody gonna get bit tonight. This is my least favorite part of Birmingham. Alright, second chance at the moon, and she's getting bigger. I think she's pregnant. Oh look, it's my turn. Maybe I should go this way. I have never been happier to see a sign for Memphis. TGIM. Thank God it's Memphis. Okay, we're in the clear. We're out of Birmingham, headed towards Memphis. Our next little soiree of traffic will be Tupelo, but I think by the time we go through it, it'll be pretty clear. Weather is still, it actually warmed up. It's, for realsies, 77 degrees. It actually feels pretty nice. My jacket might be too much for the next hour, but I'm not going to pull it off. Making the last stop, and this is the Loves I am most familiar with from probably just about any Loves in America, because I've stopped at it that many times. And I stopped at it, doesn't matter which way I go down to Tampa or Birmingham or anywhere down south, I pass this one because it's only 138 miles from the house on 78. Or on this end, it's called 22. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a Rainy Rider video if it didn't, you know, rain. So I've already set up for the clone to open the garage for me. Let me in. Yep, there's the rain. It had to happen. Well, at least I'm not far from home. Right? I mean, that's a thing, right? I mean, I could just say that's a thing. You would almost think I set this up, but I promise I didn't. I mean, there's no way I can control the weather, right? I mean, although it does make good optics to rain on my video, I just, well, I would rather it not, you know? So I have lucked out, and believe it or not, since I left the highway, I have hit every green light. So riding on the motorcycle, you only really get wet in the rain if you have to stop at a red light or something. And I have not caught one red light. The force is with me. I think it just stopped. I was wrong. It's raining. Okay, made it home with the bike. I did have to stop and put on all the random rain gear. The bike's pretty. She got a little soaked, but yep. This is like, I don't know where this rain's coming from, but it smells like fish, so it kind of stinks. So I'm home. I'm safe. Thanks to everybody who bought t-shirts and helped us support Forgotten Angels this weekend. Thanks to all my friends who helped me sell the t-shirts, and thanks to Dave and Cindy for being awesome hosts yet again, and having us on their property and showing us what it's really like to be a decent human being. Alright, well, I'm going to close this out. That's all I got. I'm home, I'm safe, and I need a shower. So like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell, and I will see you on my next journey. See ya.